The temple structure, at least what remains of it, reminds me of the one from the Fire Temple. It's built with an open front, and I can see where the altars may have stood in the past. Now it's just weathered stone. The columns are still holding up, but I watch them precariously, untrusting of their stability. Vibrant green moss camouflages the gray stones. I have to admit, the view is quite impressive. Kara takes the lead and steps carefully on the stones, obviously testing for traps. The rest of us hang back and let her explore without distractions. Leanna holds onto the Pongo, who seems eager to explore with Kara. After circling through the temple, she returns to us, perplexed.
Based on the design of the Fire Temple, I figured the Earth Temple would have more traps. Or even just one trap, but I found 0.
This seems way too easy.
Then we should definitely stay on our guard.
Are you doubting my abilities?
No! I just meant...
Kara giggles.
I know. I'm just teasing.
Zack grumbles and crosses his arms. Amelia steps up to the temple and starts to have a careful look around. The rest of us slowly filter in too. The Pongo hops out of Leanna's arms and bounces excitedly into the temple, like a happy little schoolgirl. Amy fidgets with her manipulator, much to the curiosity of Leanna.
What are you checking?
I am searching for any anomalies in these magical readings. The barrier from the last temple resonated a unique signature. If such a thing were to exist here as well, it is highly likely to lead us to the Earth Elemental.
Kara shakes her head in wonder.
I still can't believe the elementals are real.
I wouldn't jump so fast to that conclusion.
Seriously? Did you forget about our journey to the Fire Temple?
I didn't, but I don't remember me or the rest of you seeing the fire elemental. Except him.
What'd I do? Why is everyone looking at me? Zack gives me a pointed look.
He wouldn't have a reason to lie about it.
Especially if I have no idea what the elementals really are in the first place.
Exposure to large quantities of magical energy can potentially cause hallucinations. There have been documented cases of such events transpiring.
Thanks for having my back, bro. She's how I absorbed energy. I'm not from here. Anything is possible. Meh. Let's rub it in the face, because everyone knows now. I'm not from here. Anything's possible. You have a dude who traveled here through a temporal rift from a parallel world and can directly absorb magic energy. I'm pretty sure anything is possible.
Fair point.
Thank you. Now he finally has my back. Amelia looks at her manipulator.
There appears to be a strange pattern regarding energy distribution.
A sudden rumble from above breaks our attention. The rocks shift precariously, then crack and come crashing down above me.
Look out!
Leanna tackles both of us out of the way just as the rock smashes down, leaving a heavy split in the stones on the ground. I land hard and my body erupts and aches.
Are you okay?
Ow! Leanna props herself up on top of me and peers down with a worried look.
Sorry. I channeled my wind energy into reaching you in time, and I didn't even think about softening the landing.
You know what? At that point in time, can't be mad. You just wanted to save me. I stare at her. You just saved my life and you're apologizing over something like that? Leanna looks a little surprised, but then she lets out a smile. Are you okay?
Yeah, thankfully the brunt of my fall was broken by...
Her voice trails off, and her cheeks redden when she realizes she's straddling me. She quickly picks herself up. I was gonna say, I stopped her fall. I'm no longer complaining about the landing. I actually didn't mind us being like that. I wince as I carefully push myself to my feet. Leanna's attention is on the mountain of rocks sectioning us off from the rest of the team.
Hey, can you guys hear us?
Kara's voice is muted from the other side of the rock wall. We're fine! What happened?
The structure collapsed from the instability of the ruins. I would advise caution moving forward.
Now, why would you exercise caution moving forward? I can't understand why you're telling me that. The Pongo's voice is very small. Pongo!
Don't worry, he's safe here with us.
Speaking of moving, how are we gonna get these stones moved?
Stand to the side. I'll move them with my magic.
Leanna motions me to move back and I comply. Her gauntlet flickers to life as she channels her wind energy. At first, the rocks refuse to budge, but Leanna keeps trying. Sweat beads on her face as she concentrates, but after a few more attempts, she's unable to move any of the rocks to break the wall.
I can't seem to move any of the stones.
The frustration is evident in her voice. It's weird that she can't move any of the stones at all. I hear some shuffling on the other end, and I assume it's Amy using her manipulator to scan.
Interesting. It appears these are no ordinary stones. They are shielded with magic.
What does that mean?
The magic they are shielded with are dampening any other outside magical efforts.
That's not good.
However, in light of this new information, I am able to adjust the type of reading necessary to override the wall's magic block. By doing so, I am able to plot out the navigation of this temple as the ruins emit energy. Based on our current locale, our paths will converge in a short time if we move further in.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Let's get going then.
Leanna and I look at each other and nod. We start heading in the direction Amy provided. We stick close together and keep a cautious eye on our surroundings. Leanna periodically checks her manipulator. Looking for something?
I'm following Amy's energy signature to make sure we're both going in the same direction. So far, we're still on the right path, and should be converging with them soon enough.
That's good. I put my hands behind my head. Hey, I forgot to thank you earlier for saving me. Thanks. Leanna smiles, do the classic anime trope. So, I should say thanks. You did save my life after all.
You did the same for me.
No. Huh?
Raven Pass, remember? When we fought the treasurer.
Oh, that. I guess so, but I only pushed you out of the way back then. In hindsight, I probably should have also dived out of the way too, instead of, eating the blast full force.
Moving out of the way would have been a better idea, but it was heroic nonetheless.
Plus, taking the brunt of the force makes me seem like a better husbando. Leanna smirks.
Besides, you find yourself in trouble so often that saving you has kind of become second nature.
Oh, really? Is that the case? Wow! Rude. Leanna giggles. She seems to be in better spirits as we continue traveling. We turn a corner and find ourselves in a slightly open area. I notice a bit of movement from the corner of my eyes, but when I look over, all I see are the same mossy vines which were covering the entrance of the temple too. That's strange.
The energy reading here is higher than usual.
Isn't that the first sign of trouble? What's up? Leanna goes to draw her sword.
It's not dormant like everywhere else. I'm scanning active energy here.
Before I can react, vines shoot up from the stones of the ruins and converge straight towards Leanna. She gasps and attempts to swing at the incoming vines, but there are too many of them. As they entangle her limbs, she loses the grip on her sword and it clatters to the ground.
What is this?
Don't look. I know exactly what this is. I think. For some reason, the vines only target Leanna, and I have kept a berth around me. Maybe the trap was only sensitive to energy manipulation? Thankfully, I wasn't casting. Leanna struggles to break free in vain as the vines lift her off the ground.
Help me down!
I pull out my sword, but the vines twist and tangle around each other, which makes Leanna a moving target, too. The last thing I want to do is accidentally cut her as I'm trying to cut the vines. It might be best that I wait, right? Help free her. Hold on. Let's see where this goes. We're gonna see where this goes. I'm a terrible person, but I want to see where this goes. Yep, that's the way it's gonna go. I can't! It's moving around too much. I have to wait to get a good swing in.
What the heck are you talking about?
Leanna yelps as more vines wrap around her and tighten. She squirms, trying to break free.
Hurry up already!
Get rid of the vines. I like where this is going. If I keep watching this, she's gonna get really mad. Should probably let her down. Fine, I'll let her down. I dash forward, and with skillful precision, slice down the vines. As my sword cuts through the vines, they writhe and shrink away from Leanna until she's able to wriggle free. Unfortunately, more vines emerge and head straight for me. I cut them as they approach, but there are too many of them, and I struggle to keep up. Just as the vines are about to encircle me, I spot the familiar glow of a blade carved trails of light through the vines. Leanna is a blur as she methodically slices the vines with an accuracy and speed I strive to mimic. Before long, all of the vines lay in motionless pieces on the ground. Well then.
This never happened. Got it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm gonna just go take a cold shower. Give me one moment. She glares at me despite her burning cheeks. Yes, ma'am?
Let's hurry up and get going then.
Leanna doesn't wait for me as she continues down the path. I jog to catch up to her. Leanna is extra cautious and keeps her blade at the ready as we continue down the path. Thankfully, without further incident, we spot the rest of the group waiting for us on a converging path.
You guys made it!
Boy!
The Pongo bounces over to me and leaps into my arms. Hey, buddy! Kara beams and waves us over. She blinks when she gets a better look at us.
Whoa, did something happen?
Leanna clears her throat as a subtle pink tinges her cheeks.
Nothing at all. Isn't that right?
She shoots me a warning glare. Right! Nothing. Kara looks back and forth between us and then grins. Oh, don't you do that!
Oh, I get it. I mean, you two were alone after all.
Leanna's cheeks flare.
No, it's
It's kind of what you're thinking, but not really. Kara winks.
Right. Nothing happened.
Nothing at all. Nothing. Leanna mumbles something incoherent as she pushes past Kara.
What is with everyone's overly active imaginations today?
The group looks to me for answers. I'll tell you later, Zach. Yeah. Nothing happened. Let's get going?
I concur. It would be advisable not to spend any more time than necessary here.
And Zach, when I tell you what happened, you're gonna wish it happened to Kara too.
All right, let's go.
Point.
Don't worry about it. I'll tell you when you're older. The Pongo shrugs as he hops onto my head. With Leanna leading the way, we continue moving forward. We continue down the path of the Earth Temple. Okay, minigame time. Click the icons in the displayed order. Oh, it's going to be time too. Crap. We got water. Oh, times after each one. So fire, shadow, fire, water. And then shadow, earth, fire, water. Oh, there's still more water, fire, fire, shadow. I win. You know, this is just me. I think that one, just to make it more challenging, when everything is changing, you change the order that all of the icons are into, so you have to look twice, or at least do it once or twice in there, just to kind of give everyone a little confusion. I love what it is, but if you really wanted to be cheeky and just make it even more difficult, just to mess with that one person who wants to do it all perfect, something like that. But just me, I love it just the way it is, though. We finally make it to the core of the temple. The center of the temple is a lot different than the rest of the place. For one, it's not crumbling apart. Birds flitter across the sky, and there's a lush greenery all around. Sitting in the middle of the garden is a beautiful woman. Suddenly, green is my favorite color. Yeah, suddenly green is my favorite color. I'm not sure why. Just a hunch now, I have a new favorite color. Her dress is the same green as the plants, and there's something about her that feels warm, inviting, and alive. The sounds and voices of my friends fade away as I'm filled with the tranquility and beauty of nature surrounding me. She's looking at me. She raises her hand, and at her touch, I feel a sense of calm and peace. Just like at the Fire Temple, I can feel the revitalizing effect of the energy absorption. The more energy I absorb, the more translucent the elemental becomes until, with a small smile, she disappears. Slowly, the scenic nature view fades from my senses, and I'm pulled back to the crumbling ruins of the temple and the curious faces of my friends. So it is a hallucination. Amy and Leanna hover by me as the Pongo looks up at me from the ground.
Boy?
He knows.
His pupil dilation is returning to normal.
Hallucination confirmed.
Are you feeling okay? You completely zoned out there.
I nod. I still feel dazed as the remnants of tranquility begin to fade.
Did you see the Earth Elemental?
I did. This time, though, it felt different. When the energy was channeling into me at the Fire Temple, I felt a rush of passion and strength. This time, I felt more of a sense of peace and calmness.
I can confirm you did absorb a substantial quantity of energy. However, your mention of feeling emotions based on absorbing differing elemental energy is quite fascinating.
No, you're fascinated that I feel emotions, you robot.
It is something which has never been reported before. given that humans of Terra cannot absorb energy. Once your senses have fully returned to normal, I would appreciate discussing in greater detail what exactly you experienced during the actual absorption of energy.
What are you, my shrink now? Sure, we can talk about it later. Where are Zack and Kara? As if on cue, the two of them appear, each holding bags filled with what I would assume is whatever loot could be found.
Don't mind us. We just went on a little all-you-can-grab treasure buffet.
She grins and opens her pouch to hand something to Amy.
Here, I found this.
She hands Amelia an ancient tome.
I figured you might be interested in this sort of thing.
Amy carefully turns the pages of the book with great interest.
This is written in ancient Gaian script, a language of which I have studied, but of which I am not fluent.
We're missing an audio file, it seems. It will take me some time to translate it using my references, but I am content. But the content should be most academic. She smiles at Kara.
Thank you.
Kara pats her on the head.
You're most welcome.
That's not a good sound. A rumble above interrupts us. We all tense up and go on high alert. But no rock slide occurs this time.
It looks like we got everything we need from here. Let's head out before another cave-in blocks our exit.
Probably a good idea. We all agree, and still on high alert, make our way out of the temple as quickly as we can. An interesting adventure we had. We make it out of the temple and back into the forest. The sunlight shimmers through the trees, making me wince and blink. It's bright. Leanna lets out a deep, relieved breath.
We made it.
Now that we have successfully made it through the temple, let us not forget our purpose for coming here.
We look at Amelia with curiosity. She gestures to me.
His energy reading has increased substantially. Perhaps it is now possible for him to open a temporal rift.
You want to try that now? I don't like when you give me that look. Don't give me that look again. A grin spreads across Amelia's face.
Indeed.
Stop with that look. It's creeping me out. This place is pretty barren. I suppose we can try it here. Kara blinks.
Oh, you're doing that again.
She shuffles away and away and away until she's behind a tree.
Keeping watch again?
You know it.
Zack creates a bit of distance too, but not as much as Kara. Leanna and Amelia look at me.
Are you ready?
Kara's voice is far away.
Wait!
She races back, scoops up the Pongo, who gives a little squeak of protest, then sprints back to her tree. Finally, she gives a thumbs up.
Okay, good to go.
All right, let's try it. Just do what you did last time, except now you can focus and channel your energy.
Amelia, who is standing beside her, nods. I close my eyes and try to focus on creating a rift. I bring up in my mind the images of what I saw when I first entered Terra. I inhale and exhale slowly as I try to draw in on that peace I felt when I met the Earth Elemental. I remember the scent of wildflowers, the fluttering of birds, and the creaking of trees. It fills me with a soft, gentle calm that spreads throughout the rest of my body. An odd, tranquil stillness fills my mind.
Keep going. Visualize your cast.
You're ruining it. Shut up. My brows furrow. I see a dark shape peeling away at the sky. And suddenly, a hot surge of energy flashes down my arm. There's a loud crack, followed by a hiss. I open my eyes. A churning wind pours out of my manipulator and swirls around the dirt and grass. The trees groan and sway. I try to keep the wind stable, but it's just too strong. The muscles in my arms strain with effort. The wind whips about Leanna's hair and clothes. My cast is more powerful than before, but still unrefined.
You are nervous and panicking. Ease your mind and calm yourself.
Right. Don't panic. Don't panic. My heart lurches. Anxiety coils in my stomach.
You may stop now.
I do as she says. The wind snarls and then smooths to a gentle breeze. The last bit of it skims through the grass and then vanishes, quick as a butterfly flutter. My arms dangle at my sides. They feel as if they're being pulled down by heavy weights. I take in deep breaths, my heart still pounding. I cringe and look up at the two. How did I do? Leanna hesitates. About that good, huh?
That was...
A failure.
Amelia!
Amy blinks in surprise.
Is that not what you were going to say? He was unable to create the rift.
Leanna sighs and crosses her arms.
He did better than his first try. He actually cast something this time.
Amelia blinks again.
I see. I suppose there was some improvement.
She taps her chin in thought.
I believe your magic training should involve bettering your accuracy and honing your focus. At this point, we are still unsure if the inability to create the rift is from your lack of energy or technique.
Right. I puff out a defeated sigh. It seems that I still have a long way to go.
Hey, where did Zach go?
Huh? I look up. Zach isn't anywhere in sight. That's weird. I glance around. Deep in the forest, I see a rustle of something black. I squint. Maybe it's Zach's trench coat. I zero in on it to see Zach and Kara peeking behind the same tree. Hey! When did you get all the way back there? Zach's voice is faint.
You couldn't control it. No way was I gonna stand there if you went splat. This coat is not easy to clean.
So you got scared and ran away, huh? My jaw gives a little tweak. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Kara grins and claps her hands. She shouts for us to hear her.
You put on quite the show. Glad I wasn't there for it, though.
That is exactly my face, darling. Leanna frowns,
Okay, it's done now. Can you guys come back?
clearly unamused. Kara skips over. Zach follows with his arms crossed.
So, where to next?
According to Elderison's notes, Ellendale is the closest city located to where the ancient people worshipped the air elemental. I believe we will be able to uncover more information from the library there.
Kara smiles and ruffles Amy's hair.
Sounds great, Amy.
You didn't need to say it that way. Now that sounds condescending. Whatever, she blushed, it worked out. Amelia flushes. She coughs and then glances away.
Let us be on our way.
We hike out of the forest and find a new path. Amy leads us north, and we begin traveling on foot for the rest of the day, and we'll continue our journey to Ellendale and the Air Temple next time. Gonna end the episode here. Quite an adventure we had today at the Earth Temple. Seen enough, seen quite a bit. It's quite the show. Too bad you're too young for it. But As always, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to let me know by hitting that like button down below or leaving a comment. It really does help me out. Feel free to follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at Sylarclone. The links to those will be in the description down below as well. And if you're new to the channel, or have not done so already, make sure to unleash your power by hitting the subscribe button down below today as well, and ringing that little bell to know when new videos go live. And I will see all you heroes in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.